I'm sure you've all heard about ChatGPT in the news recently. Well, it's a fact that AI is here to stay, and ChatGPT is an amazingly powerful tool that can be used by wedding photographers to complete their work more efficiently. There are many ways that ChatGPT can be used by wedding photographers, and I'm going to share some tips on how you can use it to make life easier for you. Wedding photographers are often working on their own, doing all kinds of things that require communication. ChatGPT can save you time, and it's also an amazing tool for research. To find ChatGPT, you can just use your internet browser and search for chat.openai.com. Once you find the website, you can create a free account using your email address, and then you'll be sent a link in order to validate that email. There are three main areas where I see that ChatGPT could be useful for wedding photographers. The first area that I can think of is content ideas. You could use ChatGPT for so many things, and some ideas are for blogging, for Instagram, sales pitches, email templates, and also website copy. I know I personally get really tired of trying to come up with fresh new ideas for my Instagram posts, and especially recently there's the trend towards these like microblog, longer form Instagram posts, and ChatGPT is perfect for this kind of thing. ChatGPT can give you an idea of what you could say and how you could say it. And then once you have a base from ChatGPT, you can adjust it to make it your own, to make it sound more like your voice. So I went onto ChatGPT and I asked it to give me 10 tips to give to brides to help them plan their engagement session. Then I got more specific and I asked ChatGPT for, in 500 words, to write a blog post to help Toronto brides plan their engagement session. And this is what ChatGPT delivered. I think these tips are really great. Actually, a lot of these things are what I mentioned to brides while I'm helping them plan their engagement session, and I think it did a really good job here. It does sound a little bit generic, so if I was to put this on my website as a blog post, I would probably just take this as a starting point and then adjust it to make it sound more like me. Another thing photographers can use ChatGPT for is for research ideas. Some things you might want to research include ideas for client gifts, ideas for poses for couples. You could also ask it researching different camera bodies or camera equipment. Really, the options are endless here. ChatGPT is a really powerful tool for research, and I was thinking I'm often researching photo location to come up with ideas for engagement sessions or wedding photography locations. Before a session, I'll often do research online, and then once I narrow down the options, I'll go scout out the location in person. So I thought I'll do some research on engagement session locations. So I typed into ChatGPT locations for Toronto engagement photography that don't require a permit. And this is what I got. When I look through this, I think, wow, this looks great. They have some really good ideas here. But when I look a little bit closer, I realize that some of these locations actually do require a permit. I know for a fact that both Allen Gardens and the Distillery District both require permits. So it seems here that ChatGPT is gathering data from different sources on the internet, and it can't discern between what is accurate and what isn't. So if I was to use ChatGPT as a research tool, I think it's very valuable, but I would take this information with a grain of salt. I may use this as a starting point, and then I would research further, dig a little deeper to see exactly what is true and what is not true. I have some tips for getting the most out of ChatGPT. My first tip is to be willing to adjust your prompts. Being willing to change your wording in ChatGPT can yield a very big difference in the results. Also, another tip, when using ChatGPT, it's best to use natural language. If you were using Google, for example, you might be wanting to type in something like best Toronto engagement locations. This type of language doesn't work as well in ChatGPT. So you'd be better off to type something like, what are some cool locations in Toronto for engagement sessions? Another tip is to be very specific in what you ask for. You will definitely get better results if you are very specific in what you are requesting. You can give ChatGPT specific directions about how many words you would like or how many items you would like in a list. ChatGPT is a very powerful tool. It just blows my mind how this works. And I think it's something that photographers could use to help make their jobs easier and communicate better with people. If you like this video, please hit the like button and please subscribe. Thanks for watching.